There are those days when my drive crashes, my self-worth stalls by the side of the road, my confidence's check engine light comes on mid-hustle, and I find myself at my bathroom mirror, finger to glass, scratching the word can't into the hardened steam. But as I stare at my murky reflection with these broken down eyes, my reflection sees its reflection in me from the other side and thinks to itself, I don't know what he thinks he sees, but he must not be looking at me because I am. Don't be wasting my tears. I am more than enough to get through this. And I got a scrapbook full of I can't do it to prove it. For I maintain a level of awesomenity in everything I do. So my awesome nation is not speculation, but irrefutable truth. In fact, the Census Bureau just released a report that 2 out of every 3 people are awesome. And if that is true, then out of you and I, the question we must now ask ourselves is, which one of you 2 is the one that sucks? Because I am awesome. Like finding money in dirty laundry, awesome. Like parking at that 1 meter that's broken, awesome. Like that perfect person at the perfect time, saying that perfect thing, awesome. Like making a living, doing what you live for. Like somewhere, rocking out in New York City is a dude whose resume actually reads National Air Guitar Champion. What? Somewhere in the Ukraine is a woman who boasts a trophy for National Sand Art Champion. Here before you, from Los Angeles, is a man who has earned the title National Poetry Slam Champion. And to most of the working world, all 3 of these titles are equally freaking ridiculous. But the most awesome-fied people on the planet are we who embrace our ridiculousness. We live what we love, and we love incorrigibly, which is why I sleep quite well, but I go to bed horribly, always hopped up on a triple shot of purpose, juggling my dreams like 13 flaming swords and chasing my aspirations through the graveyard shift so that the world can awake to my awesomnaciousness. Look it up. And I'll admit, I used to think that awesome was a word for surfers and smokers, skateboarders and valley girls, but I was like, totally mistaken. Awesome is gangster. Awesome is stupid fresh. Awesome is the new crunk and the new cool beans, the new bomb diggity and the new bee's knees, the new mantra that helps me breathe into all that I believe and see that within me is all the might I'll ever need. Because there are those days when I'm pushed to the edge, where still waters meet earth, and I fall to my knees to look upon the water's surface. But as I stare at my reflection with these broken down eyes, God sees his reflection in me from the other side and thinks to herself, I don't know what he thinks he sees, but he must not be looking at me because I am awesome. Like the science of miracles and the mathematics of purpose. Awesome. Like how the mind can always calculate the what of who and the when of where, but the soul must solve for why. Awesome. Like the thought of God and logic having faith that we will figure ourselves out. Awesome. Like how the moment I truly discovered the great I am is the same moment I discovered how truly great I am. And I am not perfect, but I'm perfect as I am. I'm not beautiful like I used to be. I'm beautiful like I am. Like the scar where a breast once was. Like survival where a death once was. Like the better where a best once was. Every gray hair, a trophy. Every wrinkled fold, a story. Every pound of fat, a challenge. Reminding me there is always something to pursue and always something to celebrate. That's why I never smile for no reason. That's a concept I don't believe in. You ain't never without a reason to show off your teeth a bit, spread out your cheeks a bit, let your gums breathe a bit. If you can learn to reach deep for it, you can take yourself a piece of bliss and make yourself a feast of it. Like when you go buy a smoothie. And they fill it too full, making more than your cup can hold. But instead of letting it spill all over, what do? They give you a little extra cup. And you feel like you just won the smoothie lottery of it here. What? Like that perfect day when the stretch limo driver picked me up from the 5-star hotel to transport me to my first-class flight after my sold-out show, and curiously peering at me through the rearview mirror, he asked, "What do you do for a living?" And with a pocket full of sand and an air guitar in my hand, I replied, "I am a full-time poet. Now roll up the damn divider." Okay, I didn't actually say roll up the damn divider, but it would have been awesomer if I had, right? God. Well, hey, next time. And you better believe there will be no shortage of next time. Oh, you don't have to guess. Just check my specs. I'm no longer afraid to double down because I've tricked the deck. I've already seen my future, so I'm unfit to bet. That's why whenever failure challenges me to Russian roulette, I rock a waterproof poker face impervious to sweat. Because I don't gamble with my life, I count the cards. So my success is mathematics. So long as the dealer is God, I can always even my odds. Even on the odd days I can't get over it, I go through it till it's behind me. On the days I can't levy the waves, I just learn to surf tsunamis. On the days I can't slay the beast of despair with my mighty sword of confidence, I can still tuck a razor blade beneath my tongue and paper cut him to death, one positive affirmation at a time. And when I return from the wild rumpus of my awesome fest, I always vacuum with a smile as I clean up my awesome mess. For there are bits of mountaintop buried in the grooves of the soles of my shoes. Every footprint tracked on my floor testifies to the heights I've climbed and proves I made it back home each time. So I find that on those days when my weary soul can't seem to do another single thing, when the 24th hour threatens to pop my day's seams, when the cup of my ambitions begins to runneth over into streams, that perfect person at that perfect time says that perfect thing, and I am handed an awesome little extra cup by my friend who shows up at my door with a bottle of Don Julio, 4 dirty jokes, and a scrapbook full of, we gonna laugh about this later, a little extra cup. By my lover, sipping espresso at midnight in a fireproof suit, who takes over the juggling of my flaming swords and says, "You need to get some sleep tonight, baby." A little extra cup. By my colleagues, my team, my family, my fans, my community, who comes to hear me inspire and amaze, but shows up to find me having one of those days when I stand on this stage trying to guide someone home, but can't seem to believe the words of my own poem, but they do. They see in my story their truth, that their perfection in process, that their rapture en route. And I stare at my reflection in the audience's eyes, and they stare back at their reflection that my pupils provide. And we shout aloud to ourselves with fire and pride. I don't know what you think you see from your side, but you must not be looking at me, because I am